Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Elijah Shepard, the famous monster killer. I remember some time ago I told you guys that I was getting these acne scars on my face fixed. I've got one more treatment and they'll be all gone. I want to talk to you guys about that a little bit. First of all, I probably won't be making as many videos as I have been. I will be making videos because I'm never going to quit this channel. I like this channel. I like you people. I expose a lot of things on this channel. I'll probably just be out and about more now that I have my confidence back. But anyway, so I probably won't, but I will still be making videos. They just won't be as frequent. But I'm not going to quit making videos on you guys. And you know, also something else I want to discuss today. We talk about a lot of things on this channel. We expose a lot of evil on this channel. And sometimes the things that we expose are monsters, sometimes it's legends, and then other times, like today, it's people that like to act like they're monsters. They like to dress up like monsters and commit evil acts. Like in the 90s, if you'll remember the vampire cult that killed those people. But this is something different, and it's alarming that it's catching on in teens. Ladies and gentlemen, I hadn't been that long ago since I was a teen. I'm only 22 years old. I'll still be researching and things like that, by the way, as well. But anyway, as Elijah, the famous monster killer, I figured it was my duty to expose these people, this wolf pack, for the monsters that they are. So let's get this article started. And this will just prove to you that monsters aren't always the evil ones. Sometimes it's people that pretend to be monsters that are evil. They run wild through the streets at night, bearing their blood-shattered, slathered fangs, tails fluttering behind them as they howl at the moon. No, we're not talking about your typical rogue wolf pack here. These are a gang of high school students who claim to be werewolves. So move over, Michael Landon, and back off, Michael J. Fox, because there's a new pack of teenage werewolves in town, and they're proving to be much more bloodthirsty than anyone could have ever imagined. In an era when Twilight books are flying off shelves and teen boppers across the globe are arguing over whether it would be better to date a vampire over a werewolf, it should come as no surprise that a strange sort of paranormal phenomenon has swept through youth culture like a cyclone, leaving in its wake a plethora of world-weary teens attempting to live vigorously through these supernatural fantasy characters. As a general rule, fads like these come and go with a great deal of fanfare. Little cultural significance, and a surplus of paranoid adult backlash. Anybody remember the Dungeons and Dragons scare of the 1980s? But in suburban San Antonio, Texas, there's a group of high school kids who are taking this craze to an all-new, darker, and more dangerous place. The Crimson Blood Wolf Pack. These teenagers claim that they are bona fide werewolves who are members of the CBWP, Crimson Blood Wolf Pack. While these juvenile delinquents are apparently immune to the moon's transformation influence, they've nevertheless taken to wearing fangs, yellow slit iris contacts, leashes, animal tails attached to their jackets, and chains which link the collars of the two pack mates. Northside High School officials officially banned both the chains and the tails due to the fact that they felt them to be disruptive and a violation of the school dress code. But the young wildlings are not to be deterred. In fact, school officials confirm that these wolf packs are thriving in at least 6 additional schools, with up to 20 werewolves in each. A pack member who calls herself Kaza Lopez Byrne claimed that their pack, although tightly knit and wary of outsiders, should not be mistaken for a gang. Quote, we're not a gang at all. Gangs are like posers. They just want attention. That's why they go along tagging stuff. The pack, we're a family. We go to each other for our problems, unquote. Some family. While members of the pack claim that they serve a support group for one another, many San Antonio parents and school officials feel the appearance of these teenage werewolves represents an alarming trend. These parental and administrative anxieties are fueled in part by distressing claims made by these rebels without a pelt that they like to loiter about the forest and consume raw deer flesh. That sounds really normal, doesn't it? Sounds like something a family would do. Beyond their evident enjoyment of things like this, these wolfies, as they are called, or as they are known by some in their community, seem to be slipping down a perilous slope that includes typical teenage travels like substance abuse and minor crimes, and adds to them even more strange elements such as alleged animal cruelty, mutilation, carcass mutilation, sadomasochism, can't talk, and tragically teen suicides. So, and then we get to a person called Wolfie Blackheart. This is a sick individual, and you'll see why here in just a second. With her post-punk attire and wild hair, not unlike her rock and roll namesake, the Alpha Dog, of this primarily female pack, is a complex array of teenage and amateur taxidermists named Sarah. Her last name is spelled Rodriguez, who is better known to her fellow Wolfies as Wolfie Blackheart. Not unlike the renowned Don Corleone of The Godfather, Blackheart is in charge of her own pack and also oversees at least 2 sub-packs, including the Kaiba pack and the Blue Moon Wolf pack, who they have their own minor alpha dogs and who are submissive to her. According to Blackheart, this unique social arrangement includes other elements of bondage, such as the collars that they wear. So, I'm a wolf, and I have a group of other friends who are cannies. The collar means I belong to someone. It's not a fashion statement, unquote. Blackheart is a 9th grade dropout. She's on the right track to life, isn't she? From John Marshall High School, with a criminal history that includes bringing a skinning knife onto school property, which according to the school was a large curved blade that looked like it had been used to cut someone's head off, as well as breaking and entering, and even more disturbingly, animal mutilation charges. Blackheart also suffers from a rare form of syndrome, which causes her to yipe in a dog-like fashion, according to her mother. That's not a syndrome, ladies and gentlemen. That's psychosis. According to her mother, Lisa, the strange syndrome was the result of a head injury suffered in a car crash at the turn of the millennium. Perhaps it was the head trauma, or maybe it was a unnatural affiliation for wolves, but when she was just 11 years old, Blackheart claimed that she joined the CBWP after the fleeting group, which at the time consisted of mere half-dozen members, had been founded by her cousin. Blackheart, who was often accompanied by a half-wolf husky, also explained the code by which she and her pack have pledged to live. Quote, "We follow the ways of the wolf. We work as a unit with loyalty, honor, and respect." unquote. That's a bunch of bullshit, ladies and gentlemen. These people don't work with any honor or respect, because this young girl that I've been talking about cut a dog's head off. Does that sound like honor or respect to you? But as noble as the CBWP claim their intentions are, there are many who suggest that Blackheart and her crew have much more nefarious agenda, and considering the controversy surrounding the young leader of the CBWP, this should come as no surprise. The death of Rigsby. Now this is where we get to how sick this group really is. Referred to by detractors as a dog killer and satanic priestess. Sounds real honorable and respectful, doesn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Blackheart skyrocketed to the public eye on January 20th, 2010, when a series of grisly photos surfaced on the web showing her with the head of a dead dog named Rigsby, which had gone missing on January 5th, 2010. That's real honorable, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? When images of the decapitated dog, which was allegedly owned by Blackheart's next-door neighbor, Kathy Silva, surfaced on the web, animal care services and amateur hackers began to investigate, and the trail led them directly to Blackheart. The most damning of these images included Blackheart holding aloft the disembodied head of the dog, which reports claim she beheaded in her kitchen with a pocket knife. This distressing photo can easily be found online, but I decided not to include it in this article. This photograph quickly went viral, leading San Antonio police to a website where someone had posted the alarming image along with a statement that, quote, "It would be fun to desecrate the corpse," unquote. That's real honorable, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? These are a bunch of sick, sick people, a bunch of sick children. Sorry, I'm pretty pissed. I know all people of all ages watch this show, so I don't usually cuss. I'm sorry about, I did curse once in this video. I'm sorry about that. Following their online discovery, local authorities and news agencies publicly accused Blackheart of killing and beheading the animal. Blackheart, for her part, denied having killed the chow mixed dog, claimed that any unnamed friend of hers told her that the dog was hers and had been hit by a car. This friend then gave her permission to harvest the dog's head. You don't believe that, really, do you, ladies and gentlemen? I would hope not. The dog was not hit by a car. You can clearly tell it. Okay? This sick little child that thinks it's a wolf went to its next door neighbor's house, murdered a dog, cut its head off. Does that sound honorable to you, ladies and gentlemen? Think before you join things like this. If you're a young teenager and you're watching this video, please use your mind. Don't be somebody else's slave. Don't be a pawn. This lady's sick. She's mentally deranged. She's ill. And she uses these kids who are misled as pawns to do her sickening, dirty work. Nothing honorable about that, ladies and gentlemen. While she asserted that the animal had already been dead when she found it, which is a lie, Blackheart did admit that she had chopped the missing canine's head off and boiled it, but only for preservation purposes, I'm sure. I'm sure that had nothing to do with Satanism, did it? The teen taxidermist and autopsy explained her motives to local newspapers. Quote, "He was gone. His tongue was dried. The cause of death, I'm almost 100% sure, was blunt trauma. I like to learn, and a lot of times I like to figure out the cause of death. I've always been interested in autopsies," unquote. Blackheart also described her method preparing the canine's head in ghastly detail, stating that she placed the animal on her kitchen counter and severed the windpipe, tendons, and spine. She added, Quote, I severed the head, boiled the head, boiled the head. People make the mistake of hacking the spine, which will fracture the skull. You also have to put the head outside for the brains to leak out, unquote. Notwithstanding her rather morbid fantasy, or fascination for canine forensics, Blackheart, who decapitated and preserved the head of this dog after it was killed by a car, after she cold-bloodedly murdered it, insisted that the photo was taken without her knowledge and that she would never hurt a living animal. Quote, I would never kill a canine. I am a canine. I'm not a killer. I'm really not. I gave Animal Care Services all the information, and I gave them the head so they could tell it was not animal cruelty. And what I did was legal. I would be more likely to hurt a human than a dog any day, unquote. What is it with this society that cheapens human life and puts so much emphasis on animal life? I don't understand that at all. The officers, despite her protest, the San Diego police got a warrant to search the home of Blackheart and her mother, Lisa. The officers discovered that Blackheart's bedroom walls were slathered with the reddish substance, which they believed to be blood. But her mother claimed that this was merely the result of a catch-up fight. When they saw her room, quote, when they saw her room, they had to call every single cop to her room. The spots on the wall, they thought it was blood, it's ketchup. The kids had to fight, they're teenagers, unquote. In her room, the police noticed that the walls were adorned with posters of wolves and animal characters. They also discovered a refrigerator full of blood. Blackheart's mother explained, quote, Wolfie does have a bloody refrigerator, but they're all dead animals, unquote. What kind of sick parent lets their kid do that? What kind of mentally deranged people live out there in San Antonio, California? Really? They should both be locked up in a mental asylum for the rest of their lives. Let me explain something to you, ladies and gentlemen. I've looked evil in the face, okay? I've seen Satanists, alright? I've seen satanic worshipers, okay? These people right here are sick. They are evil. There is evil out there in this world, ladies and gentlemen. Don't kid yourself. It exists. Stop lying to yourself if you think that it doesn't. You think these are just some innocent teenagers that did this because they got caught up in some gang or got misled? That's a lie. They did it because they wanted to and they enjoy it. San Antonio officers also found Blackheart's collection of animal heads, including the skulls of a coyote, a bear, and a ram. Ram's heads. Whoa. Sorry, that was another video. Ram's heads are usually used in satanic worship. Eventually, authorities were able to deduce that the dog had died before the mutilation, thus eliminating any animal cruelty charges. While she was ultimately forgiven of the killing of the dog, the alleged wolf girl nevertheless became the suspect of numerous threats, prank calls, hate mail, and even rooftop stalkers, which instilled a sense of fear in her family. Well, I'm so brokenhearted for her little family. While this is clearly illegal harassment, the response is the response is strange, considering that at the time of the image of the dog's severed head, on a rainbow backdrop no less, served as Blackheart's MySpace profile picture. This only further antagonized Blackheart's mysterious online critics, whose reactions were venomous to say the least. Well, no kidding. She murdered a dog and cut its head off and boiled it. I'm sorry. Are we supposed to just be cool with that as a society? Because if we are, this is a sick society. Let me just go ahead and tell you. Quote, I have friends who've met this crazy bee, so don't take her side. If they were human skulls, she'd be in jail. She's psycho and needs to go to a mental facility. Didn't I just get through saying that? Gee, I think I did. This person has some common sense. For good. Her mom, too. That's not normal. And she has made a bad rep for San Antonio. She's a crazy, gothic, Satan-worshipping, disgusting pig, unquote. I agree 100% with that quote. Except not all gothic people worship Satan, but anyway. Besides that, I agree with that quote. As you people know, the monsters and the vampires and the werewolves that I cover on this show, on this channel, you know, of course, they don't exist. You know what I mean? These kids have taken it on to themselves to go out in the woods and act like they're werewolves. You guys don't find that a tad bit strange? I mean, as far as I know, they don't exist. Okay, I've never seen any scientific proof to say that they do exist. All I read on this channel is legends and things of that nature, and I discuss the possibility of their existence if it is real. But in my personal opinion, and according to scientific proof, they do not exist because there's no proof for their existence. These are people that believe they are werewolves. They have a psychosis. Now, do I believe that there are strange things out in this world that we don't understand? Yes. Do I believe that there's ghosts? Yes. Do I believe that there are strange animals that could have the potential, the possibility to exist? Yes, I do. Do I believe that some of the creatures on my channel that I have, on this channel that I have talked about exist? Yes, I believe the possibility of their existence. Do I believe in the possibility of a werewolf? I believe in the possibility. But to say that you are a werewolf is taking it one step too far. But anyway, that's just a quick look. And then these things are all over the place. I'm not going to call them people because they're not. These are just as bad as Satan. Satan worshippers. They really are just as bad. I don't know, that's something else, it really is. I mean, like I said, I believe in the possibility of the existence of the creatures that I cover on this channel. But I have to worry about anybody's sanity that thinks that they really are one. And if I did see an actual werewolf, ladies and gentlemen, do you know what I would do? I would shoot it. Because a werewolf is an evil creature of the night. I don't know, pretty crazy stuff. It really is. Very strange. I don't know. Like I said, I believe in the possibility of the existence of these creatures. I believe in the possibility of the existence of the legends that I cover. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is a different kind of evil, what I just covered. That's an evil that I have a hard time dealing with because it makes me angry. Probably a good thing I don't live out in California. I'll just go ahead and say that because, well, never mind. Anyway, But like I said, keep an open mind, ladies and gentlemen. Always keep an open mind, but not so open that your brains fall out. Anyway, in my next video, I'm going to disprove aliens. And I'm going to disprove the alien agenda. I'm going to disprove UFOs. Well, I mean, UFOs are actually just government technology. Anyway, I'll tell you all about that in the next video. But peace, love. I love you all. Sorry I got angry in this video. Sorry I cursed, because I know there's younger kids that watch this channel. Sorry about that. Peace, love. I love y'all. Have a great day. And I hope that you kids think before you do things like this right here. So, peace. Have a great day.